Shalom. Seeing the light. There is a remarkable law quoted in the Talmud and codified in the Shulchan Aruch. Someone sees a Hanukkah light. They know that they are not going to be able to light a menorah themselves that night, and no one else is going to do it on their behalf. For example, they are traveling. Nevertheless, they should make the following blessing on simply seeing the Hanukkah lights. Baruch atah Hashem, blessed are you Hashem, she'asa nisim la'avotenu, bayamim hahem bazman hazeh, who performed miracles for our ancestors in those days at this time. Normally, a person kindling the Hanukkah candles says this blessing together with the one on lighting the menorah, lahadlik ner shel Chanukah. But it seems that this blessing is so important that even if he's not going to light himself, when he sees someone else's light, he must still thank God for the miracles that were performed at this time. This doesn't apply in any other situation in Judaism. For example, someone who can't eat matzah doesn't make a blessing of seeing someone else eat matzah, even though the matzah reminds us of the miracle of the Exodus. Someone who can't sit in a sukkah doesn't make a blessing of seeing someone else sit in a sukkah, even though the sukkah reminds us of God's protection during the 40 years in the desert. It is clear that simply seeing the Hanukkah lights connects us enough to the miracles that took place that we must thank God for them with a blessing. This points to a fundamental feature of Hanukkah that distinguishes it from every other festival. Although Pesach records the Exodus, the beginning of our nationhood, and Shavuot, the drama of the revelation on Mount Sinai, there was a time in Jewish history when we nearly lost it all. When Antiochus IV enacted his legislation enforcing Hellenism and banning key Jewish practices such as circumcision and Shabbat, shockingly, these measures were embraced enthusiastically by many in the Jewish community. The second book of Maccabees records how young priests would abandon the temple service to run and participate in the new gymnasium built in Jerusalem. Matters came to a head when the temple was defiled with a sacrifice of pig to the Greek gods. Had not Matityahu and his sons rebelled, fought back, and against all odds defeated their enemies and rededicated the temple, Judaism would have gone the way of other ancient sects and become a footnote in history. Indeed, the late Christopher Hitchens, in an outrageous essay entitled Bar Hanukkah, blames us for surviving and then giving the world Christianity in Islam. When we see the light, we see the light. The light of Hanukkah is an instant vision of the inextinguishable faith of our people that has survived across the millennia, despite the efforts to snuff out our lives or our beliefs. It reminds us of the miracles that occurred then and the ongoing miracle of Jewish survival today. Shabbat Shalom and Happy Hanukkah.